datacom needs. Now from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
It's about, 70 degrees in this studio, so that's good. But bundle up, folks. It is chilly out there for sure. Welcome to the show. Tom Ackerman, indeed, with you for the next hour. We take you to Chiefs pregame at 11 o'clock as they host the Chargers. It's going to be cold in Kansas City, that's for sure, at Arrowhead Stadium. What a sports day it was yesterday with the Cardinals picking up a pitcher, Dustin May. Chaim Bloom, the president of baseball operations, with us at 10:45. Now, that has not been officially announced by the team, so we'll see how much Chaim can give us. If it does get announced between now and 10:45, that would be ideal. 10:30, Josh Schertz joins us, the head coach of the St. Louis Billikens. I had the game last night, as did Bob Ramsey and Earl Austin Jr. Good win for the Billikens over San Francisco, 85-75. Illinois took one on the chin, though, at home to Nebraska, 83-80. The bragging rights game is a week from tomorrow. We're going to find out a lot about Mizzou and Illinois in college hoops. 10:15, Bernie Miklasz will be with us to talk about not only Army-Navy. I know he enjoyed seeing Navy get the win, but we'll ask him about Dustin May, and we'll ask him about a number of subjects as we get rolling with Bern at 10:15. But right now, I want to start with what I thought was the biggest sports story of the day, and that is awarding the Heisman Trophy. And there were some good candidates in that group. Diego Pavia, the quarterback at Vanderbilt. Tough experience. Vanderbilt is a tough team that lost a couple of games, probably should have gotten a better look or at least more discussion about a college football playoff spot. I didn't think they deserved one necessarily, but I thought they should have been discussed a little bit more about being one of those teams in the mix. I saw Julian Sayin in person at the Big Ten Championship, and he is a tremendous player. It's just that Indiana's defense was so good, just like they did to Dante Moore of Oregon. They would not let him get into any sort of flow, and they were in the backfield all night. Jeremiah Love. There is no more explosive running back in the country than Jeremiah Love of Notre Dame. The next closest that I've seen is Mizzou's Ahmad Hardy, who breaks tackles left and right. Love has the ability to go the distance on you. He's been doing this for the last couple of years, and the CBC product deservedly a finalist for the Heisman Trophy. But there is no doubt the award winner last night was the one who deserved the award. He is the first in the history of Indiana University to win the Heisman Trophy. He has guided his team to a 13-0 record. He has just been tremendously successful on the field as an efficient, as a big play, as a clutch, as a running, as a passing quarterback. And his name is Fernando Mendoza. And last night in New York, he accepted that award, and he is one of the great guys in the game. And as you can imagine, he delivered a speech for the ages. Let's take a listen.
Every running back who fought for more yards, and to our defense that gave us that heart, swagger, and more second chances than we definitely deserved. This trophy might have my name on it, but it belongs to all of you. It belongs the first time in Bloomington. Playing in front of Hoosier Nation is one of the greatest privileges of my life, and I'll carry that forever. And my lifelong teammate, Alberto, my brother, my closest confidant, the one I trust more than anybody to get through a tough day, tough play, tough game. I love you, bro. I love you, and thank you for always giving it to me straight, no matter the circumstance. Thank you to Coach Dunn and to Christopher Columbus High School for giving me a home, a dream to follow, and more importantly, a brotherhood. Adelante. To my Cal family, thank you for being the first to believe in my future. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for educating me, giving me the foundation that enabled me to grow into the person I am today. To Coach Signetti, Whitmer, Shanahan, Owens, and every single coach who has guided me along the way. You drove me to a level I didn't even know I had inside of me. From the late night film sessions to the tough conversations and pushing me to be the best Fernando possible. You didn't make me just a better quarterback, you made me a better man. Sorry guys, I'll try to lighten up here. In 4th grade, I was a new kid on the park football team. Didn't know a single teammate and was 4th on the depth chart. By midseason, I wanted to get out of there, I wanted to quit. My parents said I had to finish what I started. So I learned to embrace my team, and that is when I fell in love with football. By high school, I was chasing the first stages of pipe dream, to play in college. Then COVID hit, cut the season short. The result, I was only a 2-star prospect, and only had 1 scholarship offer. But my family's unconditional love and belief kept me going and pushed me forward. These are the people who built me long before football did. Mommy, this is your trophy as much as it is mine. You've always been my biggest fan. You're my light. You're my why. You're my biggest supporter. Your sacrifices, courage, love, those have been my first playbook and the playbook that I'm going to carry through my side through my entire life. You taught me that toughness doesn't need to be loud. It can be quiet and strong. It's choosing hope. It's believing in yourself when the world doesn't give you much reason to. Together, you and I are rewriting what people think is possible. I love you. Papi, thank you for grounding me. Thank you for holding me accountable when it was always tough and reminding me that talent reminding me that talent means nothing without discipline and consistency. While I'm playing a team game, I'm learning to grow into a man, and you personify commitment. You picked all of us up whenever we've needed it most. To my little brother, Max, thank you for bringing joy to me and everyone around you. Your joy is infectious. Love you, bro. And for my grandparents, por el amor y sacrificio de mis padres y abuelos, lo quiero mucho. De todo mi corazón, de todas las gracias. This is an important one. I want every kid out there who feels overlooked, underestimated to know I was you. I was that kid too. I was in your shoes. The truth is, you don't need the most stars, hype, or rankings. You just need discipline, heart, and people who believe in you. And you need to believe in your own abilities. I hope this moment shows you that chasing your dreams are worth it, no matter how big or impossible they seem. God bless. Go Hoosiers. Thank you guys all.
What a great message at the end from Fernando Mendoza, who's fought for everything he has had. And the highlight of that speech is his emotion for his mom, Elsa, who is battling MS, and the inspiration that he draws from her fight. And here he is, 13-0, ready to play in the Rose Bowl against the winner of Oklahoma and Alabama, and the Indiana quarterback is the Heisman Trophy winner. We'll take a break. We'll talk to Bernie Miklasz, then Josh Schertz, then Chaim Bloom. A 1-hour show, sports on a Sunday morning on KMOX.
You know Gray Bar for electrical parts. But there's one more thing you may not be thinking of us for that can help maximize your next project's total value. Our pre-project planning services are designed to help you win the bid, save on labor costs, and keep your installers productive across your entire build. The sooner you call us, the better. Because when we're there from the beginning, we can anticipate your needs and help you solve problems before they become problems. Yep, Graybar does that.
Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now. I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code RAIN to get up to a $5 per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code RAIN to get up to a $5 per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code RAIN.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
We're coming up on Christmas. Very quickly here. Christmas has been and always has been a religious holiday for a lot of people throughout the world. And if not religious, just a celebration for family and friends. It's also the time of year where, while you might be enjoying or you like the holidays, there's people that are suffering, which this time of year is a really, really hard time of year for them. There's people that are suffering this Christmas because this could be their first Christmas without their loved one. Husband, wife, mother, father, child, or their second, third, fourth, 10th, 12th Christmas. So for every one of us that believe in God, and we do pray, remember that in your prayers daily, and hopefully that helps and makes a difference and makes it a little bit better in somebody's life that is suffering right now. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. God bless.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-830-4914. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-830-4914. That's 800-830-4914. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with, call Big Lou at 800-830-4914 or biglou.com. That's 800-830-4914 or biglou.com.
Now, back to the Great Bar Sports on a Sunday morning on 104.1 KMOX. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
We are joined by Bernie Miklasz live on KMOX. Anchors away, my man. What a great win for Navy over Army yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Army's defense did a great job on Blake Horvath, the Navy quarterback, but you can't keep him down, and he always forgets negative plays. But I thought the oddly enough, because Navy's defense has really struggled this year, Navy's defense in effect won the game because they held Army to 47 yards in the second half, including only like 18 yards rushing. So that gave the Navy offense time to get its act together, and so they erased a 9-point deficit in the second half to come back and win. So it was a heck of a game.
It was.
I always feel like, as a Navy fan, of course, I always feel bad when Navy loses, no matter what. But whenever they play Army, I have so much respect for Army. I actually feel bad for the Army players. I mean, that's a tough loss. Up by 9, looking good, and then it just kind of unraveled on them.
Yeah, the effort that is given on both sides, the swarming tackling, the gang tackling going on, the emotion in the crowd. There is just nothing better when it comes to sheer effort from start to finish than an Army-Navy game. And it's hard to explain to people until you've been there in person.
I think, and again, I am proud to admit, up front and many times, that I'm a huge fan of Navy, and by extension, a huge fan of Army. And to me, the Army-Navy game is the purest sports competition we have on the annual calendar. There's nothing like it. I mean, and it's no disrespect intended to any sport, or any other, whether we're talking, any other college football game, things like that. But there is nothing more pure than Army versus Navy in December of every season they play. And, it's now 126 of these games. Right?
It's just awesome.
I know, right? So Navy, another 10-win season 2 years in a row. I mean, they're doing great.
It's so good. The Heisman Trophy goes to Fernando Mendoza. We heard the speech last segment, and so I will ask you this. Do you have a gut feeling as to which teams will be in the mix for the national championship? I would say probably 5 or 6 of those 12 have a really good shot at it, don't you think?
Yeah, and I haven't really got down to the nitty-gritty, but your guesstimate or whatever is right on target. I don't know that anybody's playing better than. I'm not going to just limit it to one team, but I don't think anybody's playing better than Indiana, Georgia, in Indiana, because people have kind of slept on their defense all season. That's a great defense, and I think they showed that against Ohio State. Georgia has just come on like really, really strong. They were a little sluggish by their standards, and they are hitting on all cylinders. All cylinders. I'm sorry, and I think Gunnar Stockton's one of the more underrated players in the country. Like, he's played great, and their defense has been great. So they're really, really dangerous. Who else were you thinking?
I'm thinking Ohio State for sure.
For sure.
And I think the one that people don't know enough about, I think Oregon is one of those, and I think Texas Tech. I think Texas Tech is one of those teams that people just aren't as familiar with, but both sides of the ball, they can be scary good.
There's no doubt about it. And I think you hear Texas Tech, and the natural inclination is like, well, they where have they been? They haven't really done much in recent times. But Cody Campbell, the billionaire oil man.
We lost Bernie momentarily, but yes, I mean, the oil money can buy a defensive line with writing a check, and they have $1 million players on that line. They have a tremendous offense and defense, and Texas Tech is a team absolutely to be reckoned with. And I heard the whole scheduling thing before about Indiana last year, and Indiana did not come through in the end. Now you have a Texas Tech team that has a chance to prove something. I will say, though, Oregon will have a mission on its hands to get back to playing Indiana if Indiana can get through Oklahoma and Alabama. We'll reestablish connection with Bernie Miklasz. Drew, let's take a quick break. We'll come back for a final word with Bernie and then shift to Josh Schertz, as well as Chaim Bloom on KMOX.
Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the genuine, the original, present 100 years of KMOX.
The threat of a pandemic has become
there when the world stood still.
My aunt and uncle got COVID.
We are averaging
about 275 to 300 new cases per day right now.
The St. Charles County Health Department reports a positivity rate as high as 24%.
So in the meantime, we focus on treatments. What's the range of treatments being offered for COVID-19?
The vast majority of things is what we will call supportive care.
People are weary of loss, sacrifice, and inconvenience. They want to feel safe, to see loved ones again, and to get back to the things they enjoy.
The light at the end of the pandemic tunnel means hugging and kissing my mother again for the first time in 10 months.
There for every headline, every heartbreak, every heartbeat. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis. KMOX Weekend at your service, sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation.
It's Tom Ackerman for Ophthalmology Associates, the doctor's doctors, 314-966-5000 or online at youridoc.com.
Menards has everything you need to finish up your bathroom before Christmas. Homeworks creates faucets that will align perfectly with your style. Get water without turning on the lights with a LED bathroom faucet. The LED light is hydro-powered and requires no extra steps for installation. On sale now through December 24th. Stop into Menards and see all our Homeworks products and view our weekly flyer on menards.com for all our great deals.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/life.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. This Christmas holiday, enjoy exclusive savings on our high-quality rechargeable hearing aids. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and shop Christmas holiday deals before they're gone at audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
KMOX welcomes Trans-Siberian Orchestra and their monumental tour, The Ghosts of Christmas Eve, to Enterprise Center December 23rd at 3 p.m. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. A portion of the proceeds benefits Siteman Kids at St. Louis Children's Hospital. TSO, timeless and everlasting. Don't miss the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, The Lost Christmas Eve, produced by Live Nation. For more details, KMOX.com/events.
Now, back to the Great Bar Sports on a Sunday morning on 104.1 KMOX. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
We're back with Bernie Miklasz. Bernie, you gave me a chance to do something I don't normally get to do, and that is an extra long segment. I get to go from you right into Josh Schertz. That's the way that's the way I like it. So thanks for inadvertently.
Sure. I don't know what happened, man. Yeah, we just dropped off.
I love it, man. I love it. So let me transition into this because we have Chaim Bloom coming up at 10:45. And again, I've informed the audience that because this hasn't been officially announced yet, I don't know how far he can go into it, but we'll try our best to get some answers from him. But Dustin May, I mean, it's a name that came up often in connection with the Cardinals. We had brought it up a lot on KMOX. I think it's a good fit, don't you?
I think it's this is exactly the kind of pitcher you sign if you're a rebuilding team. In other words, it's a guy who has superb talent. His career's been sidetracked by injuries. He's finally healthy, but they need to kind of put his game back together again. And in other words, he's not a big name in terms of like being top of the market free agent, but we have seen how good he can be, and he's still young. And he's still fresh because of the injuries. He hasn't pitched all that much. But when he's pitched and he's been healthy, he's been very good. So I would tell people that are inclined to be negative to just ignore his stats the last couple of years because he's just had one setback after another, including a torn esophagus that had nothing to do with baseball. He lost a ton of weight, which means he lost a lot of strength. So when he came back, like in 2025, even though it was his first full season in a while, he really wasn't himself physically. So the Cardinals are going to be getting a guy that's fully healthy. He's going to be at full strength. And I liken him to kind of like a fast race car that you know it's there and you know what it's got to do, what it can do. But now you got to work on the engine and you got to rebuild maybe his pitch arsenal. But real quick, and I know I'm going a little long here, but he even with all his problems and even with the high ERA last year and all this stuff, he has his sinker ball is elite in terms of the horizontal movement. And he has, Dustin May, the highest spin rate on the sweeper pitch of any guy in Major League Baseball. So my point is, this isn't a guy that they pulled off the junk pile. This is a guy that's got like 2 outstanding pitches, but for whatever reason, the sinker hasn't been good despite that movement as it should be. And his, I think this is a great case for Matt Pierpont, their director of pitching, because they were so aggressive about signing him. They obviously see some things that they're really confident that they can fix.
I think that's well said. And 132 in the third innings was a career high for Dustin May, who's been trying to put some innings together. 123 strikeouts. I think you're on the money. I already got a text from a friend yesterday who said 7-11 with an ERA of about 5. I don't know about that. And I said, hey,
exactly.
Look back at his career, man. Don't look at the numbers so much. Cardinals aren't.
Again, I come off as being kind of grouchy, and I apologize, but I don't understand why there's still quite a few people out there who don't understand, A, that it's a rebuild, and B, what kind of things do you do in a rebuild? When you're not playing to go all in for 2026, you're playing to develop some stuff, take chances on guys with high upside who may pay off for you. This is exactly what you do. Do not look at the ERAs. Look at the arm talent and look at what he's got to work with and understand all of these setbacks. It would be impossible for the guy to pitch at his maximum best when he's been sidetracked, but he appears to be totally healthy, or the Cardinals wouldn't have signed him. But this is a typical rebuild signing, and it's a good one because of his upside. Oh, by the way, it's a 1-year deal with a mutual option for 2027. If Dustin May pitches pretty well, if he pitches solidly, if he starts getting more strikeouts, everything's working better, Cardinals can flip him at the deadline.
Yes.
Everybody it's a rebuild.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
They're not trying to win the pennant in 2026.
They're running a business here. And Chaim Bloom is dealing assets and acquiring. By the way, there's more to come. As Ron Caron said back in the day, there is meat on the burner.
Yeah, the Brendan Donovan stuff's heating up. And one other thing about this, I remember there were people, including me, when Walt Jocketty signed Chris Carpenter, who had a shoulder surgery and he was making no progress, and the Blue Jays said, this guy's done. Walt Jocketty signs Chris Carpenter, and people like me, when Carpenter didn't pitch his first year as a Cardinal at all, they gave him a whole year to get that shoulder. And I'm like, well, why would they do that? So, I mean, it's not like the Cardinals have never, or Major League teams. It's not like none of them have ever taken a flyer on a guy with upside who's had an injury issue and to have it pay off. That's happened with Chris Sale, for example. It's happened with a lot of guys. So broaden your perspective. Don't think about 2026. This is more about 2027, 2028, and beyond.
That's a great point, and the Carp decision turned out to be a pretty good one. Bernie Miklasz.
Yeah, I think it was okay. Yeah,
that worked out fine. Bernie Miklasz, thanks as always. We'll catch you on the Gas House Gang this week.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Bernie Miklasz on KMOX. Let's transition over to someone who knows all about the numbers and has a good sense of human condition and numbers and balance, and it showed last night. This Billikens team came back and roared in the second half and beat San Francisco 85-75. It's the head coach at SLU, Josh Schertz, with us on KMOX. Coach, thank you so much for the time.
Oh, appreciate it. Great catching up, Tom.
It's always good to catch up with you. And I think that game was a tale of two halves. I mean, that first half, you're kind of fighting it. You found a way to take the lead into the locker room. What were the adjustments made in the second half to put 54 on the board and win at 85-75?
It wasn't any, I think, huge adjustment other than probably getting back to, who we want to be and to our identity. We talk a lot about course correcting I thought in the first half, we got the ball at the rim, at a decent clip. Our paint touch ratio was good. Just made a lot of really poor rim decisions and really uncharacteristic. Thought we took some hard shots at the rim. Thought we had some guys open that we missed. We tried to address it in real time. I always think that's a cop out there. Halftime adjustments. If you're, make the adjustments immediately. Don't wait for halftime. But for some reason, we couldn't make the adjustment in the first half. And then second half, I thought we played with, really good force offensively in terms of getting the ball downhill. Thought we made the right reads, went from 9 for 20 from 2 in the first half to 14 for 18 in the second half. I thought we shared the ball better. We made the right plays. And I think our defense, in stretches was really good. First half, it was really good most of the way. Second half, I thought we had some really key stretches, and that 5-guard lineup, really turned the game there in the second half.
It's amazing. Basketball can be that way. Sometimes you do need just a bit of a mental break and just come out in the second half and do what you have to do, but also finding the right mix. I felt like you were trying to find the right combination of 5 throughout that game. It's sort of what the coach does. And then you found it in that second half. When you have energy on the floor in the form of number 0, Kellen Thames, that seems to be a good formula as well. Boy, when he's on the floor, things happen, don't they?
Yeah, no, Kellen's a guy that certainly puts his fingerprints on the game. He gets so much done, obviously a remarkable athlete, but also, a guy that plays with a really high motor. He's got great versatility, on the defensive end, and his offensive crashing, his cutting. But he did a really good job playing within himself yesterday. He and Dion helped, turn the game in the first half, and then that group in the second half, where he was out there, and I think we had Amari and Q and Brady and Ish and Dion really in that stretch where we opened the game up. Those 6 guys, even though it's kind of a small ball lineup in terms of we don't have a true center. We have great cumulative size, and his ability and Dion's ability to rebound really make that lineup work. The way they play bigger than their size is a key for that lineup being able to be effective.
I'll give you a little behind the scenes for us. So we're doing the game on TV, and we're talking during the break, and our producer asked, who do you want Troy to talk to after the game, asking about a player. And we were looking at everybody. Amari was leading in scoring. Kellen had a really nice game. Everybody was playing well, but we're like, gosh, Dion's had a great game. I mean, he's got double-digit rebounds right now. He's got 5 points, but he has had a real impact on this game. As soon as we came to a consensus and made that decision, he goes nuts. He ends up with 14 and 11, a double-double. We're like, geez, I mean, we told the future there.
Yeah, exactly. He's man, is he? He's just a unique player, and he's so. His motor's so high. He has just a nose for the ball. He doesn't do it in a way that you'd be like, that's like it doesn't always aesthetically pleasing. But man, is he a good player, and he plays fearless. He's got incredible courage. He's always attacking. Plays both ends of the floor as well. I mean, he's an elite defender. He's got unlimited energy. And his work on the offensive glass, his cutting, he just finds his way into points, into rebounds. And when you need big plays, he's there to make them. And down the stretch, they cut it to 77-73. We get where he pushes it. And, there's a little bit of, oh, boy, is that, we're attacking here. But he gets the 3-point play. And we were able to make a bunch of plays there in the final 2 minutes. And he was, as you said, I mean, he was the recipient of a lot of it, but also create a lot of it with his rebounds, pushes, and then being the recipient. I'm getting those back for layups, and then finished out with a dunk, of course.
Another pair of players that are versatile for you are Sharma and Dunlap, I think. I know they're thought of as 3-point shooters, and they do that, and they will, if they get on a hot streak, try to fire them up and see if they'll go in, but they do a lot of other things too. Dunlap, man, he took a major fall. I mean, and he's grimacing and just trying to breathe through it at the free throw line, and then he comes out and finishes the game. That was pretty impressive.
Yeah, no, he's a hard-nosed kid. I mean, he's been through a ton. I mean, he's a ton of surgeries and injuries, and he's really, he missed last year. I think he wound up having 3 surgeries last year for different things, and he goes down and rest of the game is, his lips busted open. JV's trying to, keep the bleeding down and, from that fall, and, he's grimacing, but, 2 massive threes in the second half, and did a really good job defensively. That's the thing with Eshaun and with Brady is not only are they plus shooters, I would say, they're low mistake guys. We got some guys that are high risk, high reward, guys like Dion, Amari that are going to make a lot happen, but sometimes there's the flip side of that coin. What Brady and Ish do, their gravity, their shooting, they're low mistake guys. They very rarely turn it over. They know who they are, offensively. And then, defensively, they're getting to the point where, they're able to hold up against guys like that group are switching 5 and they're guarding, all 5 positions. And Brady in particular, they tried to attack him, target him, get him on the ball and try to drive him. And, he did a really good job yesterday. And that's the big thing we've thought about with him is, with guys like that are, quote unquote shooters, your floor game has to be good enough that we can play you through the ebbs and flows of shooting, because that is a variant for all players. But the better your floor game, the more things you do to impact winning on both ends of the floor. Simple things, ball movement, screening, cutting, spacing, guarding the basketball, team defensive concepts. That allows us to play you through the ups and downs in your shooting stroke.
When you open up the NCAA net rankings this morning and you scroll through, the number 1 team is Michigan, followed by Duke, Gonzaga, Iowa State, and Arizona. You continue down, Illinois is at 13. You've got North Carolina at 20. Indiana, Kentucky, 26-27 respectively. St. Louis at 31, the top in the net rankings from the Atlantic 10, a notch ahead of LSU, Villanova, Auburn, USC. Tennessee, for that matter, at 36. How much do you pay attention to it? How much does it matter to you this time of year, Coach Schertz?
Well, let me start by saying I think Michigan's very overrated coaching and playing. That's a very, very over. I don't even know how they're in the top 100. Have they beat anybody?
I don't know. Really, they need to reevaluate this thing.
This net thing is terrible at the top of the net. I got to tell you that. Poor coaching, poor talent. So that's my take on that. No, I don't really look at the net until February, just because I think there's so much, water under the bridge to come. I mean, you got so many competitive challenges, and certainly, I'm aware of it. It's not like I don't know, but it's not something I'm opening up every day seeing. I'll see it. Somebody will mention it, But end of the day, you have all these different competitive challenges, and the net is so fluid. And really in February is where you can start to, kind of middle of February, look at and see, all right, where are we? Where are we comparative to this? Are we in position to, compete for an at-large berth? And, I think all those things. So we're about 2 months out, from where I'll really start, looking at it on a regular basis. But I'm aware of it, but it's not something internally, we're talking about. Our focus is, as you know, is, guys are off today, but, trying to have a great practice Monday, great preparation, win the gap in preparation for a good Bethune team on Wednesday. And if you take care of your business, what I found in the net is if you win, it takes care of itself. If you're able to win games, the net gets where you want it to get to. Doesn't always mean it works out your favor, as we saw in 23-24, but the net does get to your favor if you take care of your business.
The Billiken Report with Josh Schertz is sponsored by Royal Banks of Missouri. Coach, thank you so much for the time. Congratulations on a great win last night.
Appreciate it, Tom. Look forward to seeing you soon. Have a happy holidays, and we'll catch up this week.
Absolutely. SLU women against Mizzou today at 2 o'clock at Chaffetz Arena. We'll be back with Chaim Bloom right after this.
Discover how you can make unforgettable memories with a home equity line of credit from Royal Banks of Missouri. Whether you're dreaming of a winter family getaway, planning your next home renovation project, or considering an investment in your education goals, a home equity line of credit is a flexible and convenient option to fund life's most memorable moments on your schedule. Our local bankers are here to help you achieve your short and long-term financial goals. Call 314-212-1500. That's 314-212-1500. Visit us online at royalbanksofmo.com or stop by a Royal Banks location near you for more details on how you can tap into your home's equity and get the most out of its current value. Investing in our communities, one client at a time. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
Listen up, Missouri. If you haven't heard by now, FanDuel Sportsbook is rolling in the Show Me State, and they are kicking things off with an offer that is really tough to beat. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets, win or lose. So whether you're betting football or basketball or hockey or whatever it is, you can do it all on an app that is safe, secure, and super easy to use. Download the FanDuel app today or head to FanDuel.com/Missouri and join the excitement because it has been a lot of fun since it's been live and rolling in the state of Missouri. It is time to play your game with FanDuel. 21 and over and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan with McKelvey Homes. The Brennans love celebrating the holidays at home, and there's never been a better time to move up to McKelvey with our Home for the Holidays sale. Save big with savings of $25,000 plus up to $10,000 cash at closing on every move-in ready home, and on select homes, special financing starting at 4.75%. We have a wide variety of homes with all the most popular features selected by our experienced design team. Visit McKelveyHomes.com and move up to McKelvey.
I'm Dave Glover, and I see clearly now thanks to the doctors, Dr. Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer. You can too. Just go to youridoc.com.
Now, back to the Great Bar Sports on a Sunday morning on 104.1 KMOX. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
Welcome back to the show. We welcome in the president of baseball operations for the St. Louis Cardinals. Chaim Bloom is with us. Chaim, first of all, happy Hanukkah and happy holidays to you and your family. How are you this morning?
Thank you very much. Doing well, and happy holidays to everybody out there, and to you too, Tom.
Always good to listen to you and hear you on the show. I know that this has not been officially announced. We've not received any announcement from the Cardinals, so we're always respectful of the process. There are reports that you have a deal with Dustin May, the former Boston Red Sox pitcher and Los Angeles Dodgers pitcher. Is there anything that you can tell us about that transaction?
There isn't. If and when we have something to announce, on any kind of move, obviously we will and can address things at that time. But can't really address those specific reports.
Yeah, we understand that. Deals have to be finalized, physicals have to be passed, and we certainly appreciate that. Let me ask you this. In adding to this rotation, and you have told us this before, in putting together a rotation, what is the ideal situation for you, looking for a pitcher who could fill out what is seemingly still a rotation before this season gets going? You want to add as much depth as you can.
We definitely do. We like all the guys that we have, but as we know, it's good to have competition and it's good to have depth. So we are going to continue to look throughout this offseason for ways to add to our rotation, whether that be free agency. We're continuing to look into trade possibilities as well for guys that ideally could be with us for a long time, just like having picked up Richard Fitz in the Gray deal. And we'll continue to look at that. You really can never have enough. Obviously, at some point, we want to make sure we do have lanes for everybody that we have. But there is no such thing as too much pitching or too much starting pitching. So when we see opportunities to add players that have a chance to really impact us positively and that don't close off opportunity for the guys that we want to keep lanes of opportunity open for, we're going to be aggressive and try to do that.
And I think there's a belief, hearing you speak about this for a while now, that you have the resources in place and the people in place to turn around not only young pitchers, but if you were to bring in veteran pitchers, to give them a good foundation to get their careers jump-started.
Well, we continue to make progress in that respect, and obviously I'm biased, but very pleased with the efforts that I've seen in the time that I've been here. We certainly have a ways to go and plenty of other things that we want to accomplish to keep moving this forward. This is really an area that the whole industry is competing on now. It's not just about the talent that you bring in. It's about thinking up how you evaluate that talent with what you might do with players once they get to your organization. And it's a very explicit thing when you're talking about free agency that players are looking at too. They look at organizations, see what organizations can do for players. Sometimes that has to do with improving their performance. Sometimes it might have to do with keeping them healthy. All those things matter, as do environment, culture, and everything else that goes into what we're trying to create here. And so, you compete on all those things when you're out in the market, and it's certainly something that we want to excel at. We continue to make advances there. We're never going to be satisfied. There's definitely some things that I hope when we're speaking at this time next year that there's more than I can report and that there's more successes we can look at, but very proud of the work that's happened in that regard so far.
And Chaim, just looking at your current holdovers for next year, it does appear that you have some flexibility in your pitching staff, that you have some pitchers, if you needed to, could throw multiple innings. That seems ideal for what you're trying to accomplish here in 2026, to give so many people opportunities, to give people looks. That seems to be an emphasis.
Yeah, I think it's important really for any staff nowadays, but particularly important in our situation, both because we are trying to make sure we break in some of our less experienced pitchers the right way, that they're insulated, that they have support behind them. And also, to your point, when you have a lot of younger arms and you have a lot of arms with something to prove, the more opportunity you have, the better. And that opportunity to show what somebody could do doesn't always have to come in the rotation. There is value in being able to go up and down out of the bullpen, being able to handle multiple innings. It really, really helps the staff. And even just showing for someone who may have a chance to start in the future, showing that they can come into a hot situation, get out of that situation, take a breather, then come back out and continue to perform at a high level, and maybe even do it for a third up. That's really valuable. And we've seen some guys do that. Obviously, Kyle was huge doing that this past year, probably more than anybody out there, although there's others that had a taste of it. We've seen in the past Libby do that, and I think it really helped him as he transitioned back to the rotation this year.
Going into the winter meetings and the GM meetings for that matter, you told me one of the things you wanted to accomplish is to find out what people think of your players. Obviously, this trade market has a chance to really heat up surrounding the St. Louis Cardinals. It's no secret that you have some pretty big names out there that teams would be interested in. How did that all go down over the last week or so in Orlando as you looked at the possibility of moving some of your players?
Yeah, it was interesting. A lot of fun, obviously a lot of conversations, good to reconnect with a lot of people across the industry. I think that environment has pluses and minuses as far as doing business. It is kind of a hothouse, and there's obviously a lot of stuff that bounces off the walls there. The positive is that you can have a lot of good conversations. Sometimes you're doing it in what feels like a circus atmosphere. Obviously, rumors flying. Some of them are true, some of them are not. I think that's the way it goes for every team. But, what is true, as we knew going into that week and as we expected, is that we do have a lot of players that the league has interest in. That doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to deal all those players, because we value them too. But if we see opportunities to make us better and to push us towards our goal and push us closer to getting back on the top of this division, then those are the things we're going to try to pursue.
You did pick up a couple of pitchers, Rule 5 pick, Matt Pushard, your right-hander, Zach Kent. Picked him up off waivers. So to your point, trying to stack pitching as much as possible. Your evaluation of those two?
Yeah, both have a chance to help us. Zach, we, as you pointed out, we claimed off waivers from Cleveland. Interesting guy who has some good breaking balls, pretty interesting arsenal to come out of the bullpen. Another guy that's capable of going multiple innings. Has an option left, so he'll be in that competition with the rest of our right-handed relief crew as we look to fill out that bullpen. But pretty excited about the chance for him to contribute in some form or fashion, and excited to see him come into camp and compete. And Matt, also really excited to get a firsthand look at him. Obviously, he, coming over from Miami, is already familiar with Jupiter, familiar with the complex, although we're excited for it to look a little different in the spring than it has in the past. But this is a guy who's an interesting story. He's an older guy who really has competed and willed his way to the upper levels of the minor leagues and showed enough for us to think that he's ready to help us in the big leagues. Again, Rule 5 pick, there's always strings that are attached with that, a little less flexibility that you have with that player. So you want to really have them show that they can not just get outs, but that they can also help insulate your staff and that they can stick for an entire season. We like a lot of things about him, and we'll be excited to learn him better and get him into camp and excited to see him compete for a spot.
Chaim, I mentioned we're into the holidays here. Hanukkah starts tonight. We're 10 days away from Christmas Eve. I mean, do you anticipate another push before a holiday break in New Year's, or is this sort of fluid here over the next few weeks?
Well, it's certainly fluid. There's no official deadline, but I do think we're going to see some action, both, around the league and potentially with us. The one thing that I feel very confident about is that conversations that began or progressed during the winter meetings, they have continued really into this weekend. They'll continue into the coming week. So I would expect that it'll be busy. I know we will be busy. Obviously, can't promise one way or another if it's going to lead to any sort of a move. But with this volume of conversation, with the holidays coming and people looking to settle some things before that time, I think there's a good chance that around the game we'll see some action.
We'll keep an eye on it. We'll keep in touch with you. Chaim Bloom, always a pleasure. Again, happy holidays, happy Hanukkah to you and the family, and have a wonderful Sunday.
Thank you. You too.
Chaim Bloom with us on KMOX. We're going to turn things over to the Chiefs. They play the Chargers next. Thanks for joining us from the Stifel Sports Studio.
Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car.